Καλησπέρα λοιπόν και από μένα. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ το ΣΕΒΕ για τη δυνατότητα.
Good afternoon. Thank you to SEVE for the invitation to speak at the very interesting Expo Summit on this technology panel. It could be the summit basically is identical to GS1. It focuses on technology and with regard to this panel. In 2016, barcode was considered by BBC one of the 50 top things to support the global economy. The barcode started being used in 1973, and on Monday it will be the 50th anniversary of its use. Here you see the various efforts made over the years to use it and the first scanning. Today, this is a system that affects the whole of the supply chain and has to do with standards that have to do with identification, signage, and communication of information. So we're talking about a common international language for the whole of the supply chain. And this has to do with all sectors. GS1 codes you can find in any field of business, whether we're talking about a fixed unit, a movable unit, a product, a store, a wholesaler, etc., using different codes. And let's look at the GLN. GLN is a code that we're not used to. It is the global location number. Previously, we saw in the Philips presentation, for example, Industry 4.0, which speaks about the information provided by the machine and how the machine can tell someone that this piece of machinery is going to break down or is going to present a fault. So who determines which part of the machine is going to break down? If that is happening inside a factory, that's all good and well. But if the information goes to companies in charge of servicing, well, that's where the GLN comes in. The global location number, it has to do with a physical position, operational position, and can be specified from point to point, giving precise geographic indication information. For example, at the port of Piraeus, we have loads of ships and containers. How can we specify where we want to send the crane? We need a number that everyone can identify, that does not need to be translated, that is not written in any specific language. Well, of course, this can be used also for the climate, for CO2 emissions, etc. So here we see how the GLN is verified, how it is created. GS1 is not a company, it is an organization that is managed by users, whether we're talking about the business sector, wholesaler, retail. It is a neutral and not-for-profit company because it implements standards for its users. And it is addressed to the whole of the market. It is global and local because the solutions that can be implemented in Greece can be implemented worldwide and vice versa. And finally, it promotes collaboration and development. That is, GSA standards can be used for developing any company. We have 115 organizations which are members, more than 2 million businesses using the GS1 system, 500 million products with GS1 barcodes, and 10 billion transactions per day. This is one of our collaborations, showing where the standards can be used in collaboration with the IPM of the International Customs Agency. And now let's move on to the verified. When we have a product in our hands, it has a specific identity. Any item can be made unique through a unique identification number, and this is done through the barcode and the relevant figure. But we want to add a digital identity. When we started speaking about barcodes in 1973, there were no mobile phones nor the internet, so they only wanted a number in order to provide some information. The marketplace has changed today. And the need for information is immense, which means that it's not enough to have a simple product in my hands, because that's not always possible, for example, through e-shopping, etc. I can see some information which may not be accurate, which may be wrong or understood differently for each product. There can be more than 15 ways of describing a product, even in the same country. So we try to create a digital twin for the product and to add to it information that can be accessed globally. And that's what verified by GS1 is all about. It gets information from an international registry that includes information on any product. So any product that exists in the world will be on this registry. More than 350 million codes are on this registry right now, which means that if one enters the code in the registry and then uses verified by GS1, they will obtain this information that can be used by the retail seller in order to see whether the product they have is the right one. It can be used by the consumer in order to see whether he's actually got what the producer has told him he has produced. And also, the number can be used in general in order to identify a product and verify all its characteristics. We have many advantages for the industry and the whole of the supply chain as a result. Verified by GS1 is an open platform. GTIN is the barcode. We can also have the brand name, description of the label, the net content and measurement unit, classification by GPC, the market to which it is addressed, and the URL of the product. So this information is not necessarily business data. It has to do with the specific hierarchy or anything. It's basic information for identifying a product. It's an open platform that gives an answer to the question about whether what I have ordered is actually what I want to receive. Here we have an example in actual use. We enter the code for the product and we get this answer. You see a picture and information. What is to come? As I said, GS1 has its 50th anniversary on Monday, so we hope that we have as many more in the future. But we need to change, and we think that the old linear code of 1973 is no longer enough with a single number, which means that from the 1D barcode, we're moving to the 2D barcode. Let me give you an example. In Australia, we already have this in the supermarkets. Coca-Cola has started since 2023 using 2D codes as a unique product code for markets where this is already being used. And how far can all this progress? The QR code right now has unlimited possibilities. We see here, for example, a series of codes given by the business, which includes a serial number, a product GTIN, a base URL. We could add to this a digital link that sends you to a specific link with other information that includes its allergens, its certifications, its expiry date, production date, whatever you can imagine. We were at Food Expo a few days ago and presented a kiwi fruit where this QR showed exactly which field it was produced in, how, its size, the lot, etc., all the information that the producer wanted the consumer to see. So for us, technology and digital transformation has already arrived, and we are rather trying to catch up with it.